visceral, a magnate for media and communications, and a marginal, peripheral, and in some forms despised figure like Tommy Robinson are able to create and generate this kind of interest. What does it say about the British government? What does it say about media and communications? And what does it say about the future of the UK? Let's have a look at the Elon Musk.
The government can obviously use whatever powers are available to suppress the people. And so I really think there's got to be a change of government. And you can't, we don't have another 4 years or whatever the next election is. It's too long. There's genuine risk of rape and murder and the destruction of the country and dissolution of the entire way of life. If you weren't under a massive attack, then people should go about their business and just live their lives. But unfortunately, if the fight comes to you, you don't have a choice. So you have to rally the whole all of the people of Britain to fight for the future.
Let me ask
and if this doesn't happen, there won't be a future.
Are you ready to fight for your future, Britain?
Fight for your future.
Do it, go! Will we be gagged any longer, Britain?
Well, there you go. A bit of jingoism and excitement there, and Elon doing his excited persona, which is always brings some very particular feelings to the forefront for me. God love him, that glorious and magnificent nerd.
Did you know most methylene blue sold online is the same grade used in fish tanks? That is low-quality bottles, often made overseas with no testing for heavy metals. That's why you can trust the brain's cognitive decline, plus free ships. The British government is completely screwed. Keir Starmer, I don't know. Look, I know I'm in my own bubble, as we all are. I don't know anyone that supports the guy. You're right. Now the left is turning on him, too. He's been just like a middle management nothing that for the most part, people can fully see through. He also had a lot to do with the hiding of the Pakistani rape gang. So he's on his way out one way or another. He's either not radical enough for the left, or he's just too transparently nothing for the right. So he's done. The media portion we discuss all the time. I mean, I think this again represents to see Elon showing up with Tommy Robinson, who you're right, has been kicked out of every mainstream institution in your country. Piers Morgan won't even have him on his show. You know, I had Tommy on my show in 2016. We were supposed to have him on yesterday, but subsequently, because there was such that was such a huge event, he had to postpone because he's doing a lot of media now. But like, this is a guy who he's not racist. He's fighting for his country. I don't know all of his political beliefs, but there's just simply no reason to think that he wants anything much more grand than Britain for British people to have some values that were consistent with what your country had for quite literally thousands of years. I don't think there's a racial component to that per se, but sometimes there's different cultures are different, and let's just leave that there. And then the final question that you asked was about the future of the UK. That's the first time I've seen anything out of the UK in the last 10 years that gave me any hope for your country. I've been to the UK probably once a year for the last 10 years. Usually just London area, Oxford, Cambridge, that kind of thing. And every single time it seems worse, but not only does it seem worse, it seems like the hope is gone. And Carl Benjamin, who you guys might know, he goes by the name of Sargon of Akkad on YouTube, or he used to go by that when he became real famous, but now Carl Benjamin. He tweeted out something like a year ago that I thought was really interesting. He's like, if you walk around London, you don't see any real Brits anymore. You see a lot of Islamists and whatever. He said, if you want to find real Brits, they're all in the pub at 11 a.m.
Do you feel LLMs like ChatGPT aren't good enough anymore?
They've hit a wall when it comes to real reasoning. Yeah, they can write essays, debug code, and sound smart, but they can't reliably plan multi-step problems. And it's not their fault. It's in their architecture to just predict words. Like the next